think half of the people there were butt naked.
You guys are definitely like dating. Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, or Puff Daddy and Halo.
From old episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the one that was closest to Diddy, it seems, was definitely Khloe. Maybe an arrest here or there, the FBI.
Big K, a little K.
No, but check it out. We all are proud of you.
Kimmy.
This is something that's big, and I'm praying that.
Love. Hey, Chris.
Love you guys. Love you.
Love.
Instead of them grinding and getting their grind on and taking care of their family or looking in the mirror, you may be experiencing some of your fellow friends or co-workers hitting you with hate.
So when Khloe Kardashian posts photos of her family, you know, True and Tatum, the comment section is usually just flooded with well wishes. It's like, oh, what a cute family, how great. However, there was a post she made on September 24th of this year that saw suspicion and anger mixed in amongst the usual comments of like, oh, so cute. Followers appear to be turning on Khloe and her entire family due to their previous association with Puff Daddy. So this Instagram post, pretty cute, right? Like she's dropping off her family at school, and there was a lot of positive comments, like pop singer Chloe Bailey was like, oh my gosh, best mama. But then you gotta look at the ick. So we're just glossing over the sick fact that she and the other Kardashians knew what went on at parties, said one commenter, and then we got this comment in all caps. I'm not gonna yell it, but you'll get the emphasis. This circus is trying to deflect from them parties they went to. Direct quote, pardon the programmer. Look folks, for many decades, anybody who knew anything about Hollywood parties knew that Puff Daddy parties were the place to be. He had his annual Hamptons White Party, he had these blowout birthday bashes, like these lavish soirees were attended by everybody. Jay-Z and Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, Leonardo DiCaprio, the Kardashians, they were like the socialites, so obviously they had to be at the parties. For his 50th birthday, Puff Daddy had the whole Kardashian family there, as well as Pharrell, Kate Beckinsale, Naomi Campbell, and now, obviously, in light of recent events, all these images are going viral on social media because folks want to know what megastars were at these parties and what parties did they go to. And in some images, it looks like everybody's like having a good time. They've all got bottles of some fun liquid. There's a photo of Leonardo DiCaprio having some fun. There's Mariah Carey having a good time. But there's one image that stands out to me. Puff Daddy screaming at one party. He's got Paris Hilton in his arms and Kim K by his side. So obviously that had to have been during the era when Paris had Kim being her assistant. But like, still Kim, we got questions. But let's get back to Khloe for a moment. So there is a video that recently redid numbers on social media because in it we see Khloe Kardashian bragging about partying with a music mogul. This was in an older episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I think it aired around 2014, so about 10 years ago now, and it showed the now 40-year-old catching up with her sister Kourtney as she unpacked a wild party with a bunch of her friends, including, but not limited to, Puff Daddy, Justin Bieber, and French Montana. Later in the episode, Khloe was enjoying a bowling session with a pal and she mentioned, I haven't been to bed yet. I got on a plane at 5:30. She was still talking about the party, going into details that I can't talk about. But like, once again, what's going on? Looks like the friendship was long lasting because 2 years later, so 2016, Khloe invited Puff Daddy to appear on her Cocktails with Khloe series, where she hailed him as a hardworking yet eclectic person, saying, well, I know you're known for the parties. When you think of a party or a good time, you think of Puff. She's like, we've been known to party with you a few times. Obviously, the we was the family, because she turned to her sister Kourtney, who was also in this episode. She's like, yeah, you were just at Puffy's birthday. And she's like, yeah, I forgot about that. That was an epic night too. Every night. She's like, yeah, that was fun because like all the girls ditched me, so it was like me and the boys. It was me, Kanye, Corey, T, and we were all just hanging out and it was fun. I loved it. So once again, the sisters are heaping praise on Puff Daddy. Khloe added, like, I don't know how you have all the energy, but that's who you are and that's why people are so drawn to you, because you're so eclectic. No matter what, no matter how much you work, you don't sleep, you don't do anything, and that's just you. And this friendship is still going strong. We're gonna go down the timeline, folks. 2019, Khloe's still posting pictures of Puff Daddy. So that's only, carry the one, 5 years ago, folks. And she could be seen posing with the now disgraced producer. Also, we've got Kim and Kylie. These photos were to commemorate Puffy's celebrity-packed 50th birthday party that I mentioned earlier. So sure, if we're gonna go throughout the family tree, I know a lot of outlets have claimed that Kim was among those who unfollowed Puff Daddy on Instagram, but nobody in the family has really spoken publicly about the speculation. So here's the thing. Khloe has literally said so many times that there's nothing like a Puffy party, and like, girl, what were these parties? Tell me more. Okay, we do have to say that nobody in the famous family has been linked to any of the allegations that Puffy is facing, but they haven't spoken out following his arrest. Not to say like, hey, we weren't at this, hey, that was bad. They've been fawning over him publicly for how many years now, folks? Like a decade, if not more. I know Kris Jenner's partner, Corey Gamble, had ties to the rapper. So like, once again, why are they not speaking out? Well, apparently they might be dreading the prospect of testifying at his trial. According to an insider, they're actually in panic mode. Like the whole family's like, oh my gosh, all these years they've been bragging about partying with them, and obviously everybody's assuming and wondering, were they involved in the freak-offs? Now, if you don't know, those are the carefully organized events that involved activities with professional workers. So according to sources, the whole family was like, yeah, no, we're not involved. We just can't say anything, because they had no idea the sorts of twisted things that he was up to after hours. But yet, the girls were talking about partying with him to 5:30 a.m., and we all know the timeline of what party happened when. Now, sure, sources have said that yes, Puffy had plenty of glamorous parties over the years that weren't freak-offs, at least not until the early morning hours when the majority of people had left. Well, once again, folks, early morning hours, we're going back to leaving the party at 5:30. That screams early morning to me. How about you? Going back to Corey for a moment, he shared a post in a couple of years ago honoring the family, honoring one of Puff Daddy's partners. So like, a lot of folks think that Corey must have had some knowledge of what was going on at these parties, being so close to Puffy and his partner, which like, he's totally denying. Yes, sure, this is all very ugly and very embarrassing, and Kris, being the absolute ultimate PR person, is scrambling to distance themselves from everything and distract everybody. But it's kind of impossible when you've been bragging about it for so long. So let's talk about a lot of Puffy's parties for a moment. Let's go back to 1999. Puffy was talking about his white holidays, and it's kind of hit the news for a couple of reasons you're gonna find out in a moment. He said in 1999, and I quote, "They don't want me to party anymore, but we're not gonna stop. We will continue to have fun, to unite people from all walks of life." And he made a prediction, folks. He said, "You will hear about my holidays. They're going to shut them down. Maybe they're going to arrest me. They're going to do all kinds of crazy things just because we want to have a good time." He said, and I quote, "Whenever you bring a different element into people's environments, things that broaden people's horizons, people get intimidated. It's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it." Now, I gotta ask, if you were predicting this in 1999, what were you doing back then? How did you know that this was gonna go sour? He's also joked publicly about his tactics for keeping women from ditching his get-togethers. He did this back in 2002 on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, because Conan asked, like, how do you throw a great party? And he said, woman. Beautiful woman, of course. Beautiful men for the ladies, of course. You need some water. I don't know if guys have noticed this, but a lot of ladies drink water at the parties, so if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. Gotta keep them there. Need locks on the door. Now, when Conan O'Brien was like, that sounds kinda dangerous, Diddy tried laughing that off, and it's like, no, that actually sounds like a bit of a safety concern. Like, I wouldn't wanna be locked at a party. So sure, as allegations are surfacing and we're going through all these details about all the heinous things, it might be a while before we get the details that we want. Turns out a lot of attendees were forced to sign NDAs, so whoops. Now, it is a very standard NDA. It's just like, okay, you can't share information related to Puff Daddy, any partners, any family members, friends, business associates. Can't take any photos, you can't film anything, can't record anything without Puff Daddy's consent or, whatnot. You also can't share anything to social media, you can't post photos or videos. So sure, it makes sense why certain things aren't getting out, but then, I don't know. Oh, and also you can't give interviews, write books, or discuss anything. So I guess that's why we're not getting the information that we need, but at the same time, come on folks, dish it out. And that's all for today. See you next time.